Hey, welcome back. It has been a long few weeks. This writer strike and actor strike has been going on for a while, and that is not an excuse for my absence. There's plenty of things to watch, but it's kind of like the atmosphere feels strange knowing that there's no new material being written, and I just really hope that all these creatives get paid what they are due and what they ask for, what they deserve. I just hope that this strike, I think the last strike we had, writer strike, was in 07, 08. Of course, any of you that were old enough to remember, those years, 08, 09, that area was a very weird time. It was very bad economically, even like now, only then you couldn't get a job at McDonald's. So I'm hoping that it ends soon and we get to see, there are a lot of shows that I like coming up are delayed now because of the strike. So hopefully it ends soon, y'all. But I watch YouTube a lot, of course. I'm on here all the time looking at things, and I love a good documentary. Even as a child, I watched a lot of documentary, some of them award winning, some of them that went on to last a long time as far as like in the public's mind. So I ran across something called Skidrow Marathon on YouTube, and I put it on my to watch later, and it's been on there for about a few weeks, and I decided to check it out, and it was pretty good. It follows a judge who has a running program for most of these people, if not all of them, were ex-cons, felons, former drug addicts. And of course, when you are when people are on drugs, a lot of times they could go back and forth with the relapse, and it's really kind of a lifelong thing. I've been told that you never quit being an addict, you just learn to deal with not succumbing to the urges. This is what I've been told a few times. So we follow him, and we follow, with documentaries, even though he has, a few tens of people running with him, we of course, with it being a documentary, we follow him and like 4 or 5 people. One guy who's pretty young, he's in his 40s, but he spent almost 30 years in prison. He did a drive-by on somebody. This takes place in Los Angeles, by the way. He did a drive-by on somebody. He was heavily involved in gang stuff, and he ended up killing someone with the drive-by. So I think he was actually supposed to get life, but it was one of those things where I think it was like such and such to life, which means you have to serve at least that. Then they can see if you can, they can parole you or whatever. And so I think it humanizes people, because when we think of Skid Row, we think of, I'm just going to say the word, it may not be politically correct now, but bums. Back in the day, they called them winos, just homeless people. Some addicted, some just down on their luck. California is in a very expensive state to live in. Los Angeles especially. There's a lot of people that are just homeless because they just couldn't keep up with, the expenses. So I like anything that's going to humanize people and give them a face, give them a voice. On this documentary, one of the people, his accent sounded like he was West African. Probably came here, from a West African country, but he did end up relapsing. And he was actually kicked out of the mission. A few of these people stayed in mission, some stayed on the street. There is one man who I really liked. He's an artist, and a really good one too. This documentary came out, I'm getting 2 different years. I'm seeing 2017, then I'm seeing 2019. So it came out one of those years. And I would love to do a follow-up on these, the people and the judge as well. Another thing I like to add too is not only does it humanize the homeless people, the felons, the ex-cons, it also humanizes the judge. because, he was talking about how he has to give out these long sentences to people, and that it does affect him. A lot of times we may not look at judges as, we kind of look at them as being indifferent. And I'm pretty sure with a job like that, you kind of have to be. You can't be emotional doing that. The type of things they have to hear, hear and see, the evidence of, horrific crimes. The beginning of the documentary, we actually saw him sentencing a man 71 years to life. And this guy looked like he was in his mid-20s. He's not getting out. And if he does get out after 70 years, what kind of quality of life is he going to have at 90-something, spending that much time in jail or prison? I didn't recall what he did. I don't think they called it. But, I'm a big supporter of anything positive. I don't have my glasses or contacts on, so if I'm doing a lot of squinting, that is why. But I'm for anything positive, anything that's going to turn someone's life around. Anything that's going to make someone feel like they're making a difference with themselves. And one thing I thought that was incredible was he actually takes the running group to do marathons overseas. So in this documentary, they went to Accra, Ghana. They went to Rome, Italy. And as the documentary was ending, their next stop was going to be Jerusalem. So that's something to look forward to. Like, look, let me try my best to stay clean. I get to see the world. One of the gentlemen was saying, I used to be homeless, sitting out, living up under the interstate, and now I'm in Africa, and I'm running this marathon here. And you know what I mean? Like, you can change your life. And it's so much deeper than just this documentary, because I think of Skid Row sometimes. We have homeless people everywhere, I pass some here all the time, but it's like, why is there so many? It said in the credits there's 50,000 people living on the streets and in missions in Los Angeles. I've heard, I haven't been to Los Angeles, so I'm only going off of what I hear and see online and news outlets. But I heard downtown Los Angeles is pretty rough because of so many people that don't have homes to go to. So, but I'm all for programs like this. We had a program here in Nashville called Pulse Day. It was an acronym, PULSE. I forgot what it stood for. Started in 97. I don't remember where it ended, but it was for teens ages 13 to 14. I'm sorry, 13 to 19. And you signed up at school, and then you got your parents to drop you off at, started off at Bicentennial, which is a park. And you would get on a school bus and go to a certain part of Nashville to do volunteer work for a few hours, and then they would drop you back off at the park, and you would have live music, and they fed you and everything like that. And I just feel like that's what youth need. I know I'm a little off subject from the movie, but I just want to throw this in here because it kind of goes with it. I hope I'm not being filmed crooked. I'm trying to keep my phone straight here. But it goes along with it because I feel like people, especially young people, need something to do that is not only fun but productive as well. And I feel like a program like that in every city, I don't know how much it costs. I don't know if they stopped it because it was, because we signed up for free. We didn't have to pay anything from what I remember. But I feel like, we use so much city funds for unnecessary stuff invested in the youth. Kids are the future, period. I'm in my mid-30s. A child being born right now, a little toddler that's 2 or 3 right now, is going to be in a powerful position in 30 years, whereas I'm going to be a senior citizen. So it is important to invest in these kids. You know what I'm saying? So my hat definitely goes off to the judge for having this program, because it's something that I try to keep people clean, give people, some people just need some inspiration to do well in their life. Some people need something to look forward to. Everybody doesn't need that, but some people do. And if running with this group a few times a week is what what motivates you, why not? I think it's great. And it's also good for your body, your physical health and everything like that. I actually was interested in running a few years ago, but I don't know, the weight that I am at now, I'm not sure if that'll be good for my joints. But I think I will get into walking first before I try to run, and we're gonna work up to the running. But anyway, man, so glad to be back on YouTube. I hated this hiatus. I gotta do better, you guys. But my heart hurts for this strike, because some of my shows and stuff are not coming back on as planned because of it. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and lay it down. It's another late night video before I head on to Wonderland, to Slumberland here. I want to thank all my subscribers, all 36 of you. I appreciate you. I don't care if it's a low number. I know it's terribly low compared to everybody else on YouTube, but y'all are still here, and I'm thankful. Everybody that's watching, thank you for taking the time out to watch my video. Please like and subscribe. Do me that favor, please. All right, y'all, as always, you know what it is. Peace and blessings, and I mean that to infinity. Y'all have a good one.